Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Macross 7. How about you go ahead and remind us of what happened last time?
Last time was episode 23, Sound Force. What happened? Actually, not that much. We got a debriefing on what was going on because now City 7 and Battle 7 are back together again. We got a couple of news. Macross 5 found a planet. They're landing and setting up, and they invited Macross 7 to come over, basically, and give out a concert because Vibe Bomber is not only popular among Macross 7, but also Macross 5. I guess their music is going out through this galactic network and that we talked about before. Also, there's the setting up of the so-called Sound Force, which turns out to be 3 mechs, I guess modified, very similar to the VF-19, right? And we got Exodal, FOMO, simply saying Proto Delvin, ooh, and just popping out like he was playing Super Mario Brothers into a pipe, and that was it. Like,
Well,
it affects the Centrati. We don't talk about it. Boop,
makes the
that's
Zentradi
it.
go crazy, which we did see, to be fair. We didn't
Yeah,
recognize it was only the Zentradi going crazy because we thought it was like everybody.
which I didn't mention before, but this is the second time the Centrati meet an alien species that makes them go crazy. First of all, it was like the Myclonians. They had a blanket um prohibition against the Myclonians, but that was a culture clash, which included music.
Yeah,
Now it seems that the
Exodal,
Proto Delvin,
Exodal
yeah,
claimed that it was a whole thing about my clones, but in Gold said it was actually about protoculture.
So now we have the Proto Delvin, who's also seemed to affect Centrati
Zentradi
so
just can't
much so that
handle protos.
Proto Delvin or
Culture.
Proto Delvin.
Proto-Delvin and Proto-Culture, the Zentradi can't handle
Yeah,
protos. Anything that
yeah,
existed when they weren't the Zentradi, they can't
yeah.
deal with.
If the Protoss show up, they're screwed. Uh, and so much so he just literally he did the whole Super Mario pipe thing,
I mean, as
and
much
he
as he
just
looks like broccoli now, you gotta remember he is also Zentradi, so
yeah
he's just afraid, I
uh
guess.
yeah. And again, like it's the pattern of the show, with no explanation given whatsoever, he just reacts that way and just leaves. Dr. Chiba has confirmed with the other scientists that yes, sound energy or sound force is something that can be both measured and powerful and could be used against the enemy, right? So the plan, I guess, Project M, now is culminated into Sound Force. Although Gamlin is not sure that this is going to go anywhere. Meanwhile, Sybil finds and confronts Basara, and Basara's like, "Yeah, I was waiting for you, and I'm gonna play a song for you." And there was all this light show, whatever, and they kiss, and then she's driven away with ecstasy. Right? She flees, but not before kind of draining some of the life force out of Basara, which leads to Mylene having to help.
Well, wait,
Uh,
wait, wait, wait. You're
Basa-
about to jump to the next scene. Let's not forget one, Sybil's like clothes just like rah, right off of her, but also
yeah,
somehow Basara's playing the guitar is actually creating force. A sound force, if you will. Because it's actually
yes,
bending like metal and shit around it. Because it's not coming off of Sybil. Because we can see like waves of energy washing over Sybil's energy shield.
yeah,
He's doing something.
but we don't know exactly what that is. And so, yeah, there's a kiss and there's an attack because remember, there's still infiltrators aboard City 7 besides Sybil. So they start attacking because that's what they do. We need to have an action sequence. So Mylene and Basara go out. Basara's like, ugh. Mylene starts singing. And eventually, that is enough to wake up Basara because we know that music can regenerate your spiritual. And they both sing, and that seems to overload one of the enemy's fighters enough for them to say, "Oh, we're in danger. We're in the danger zone, and let's leave." And then the final scene is introducing the sound force, which technically should be under military control. Or let's say it's a civilian arm and whatnot.
I think
And
it
so
is under
they,
military control.
yeah, but they say it's a civilian arm of the military.
Well, they're doing a weird thing where they have to like get the mayor's permission to deploy forces, which not shouldn't be the case. But
I
we
mean, if it's
also
a,
saw the,
if it's like the United States where you have the posse comitatus, then that makes sense. If it isn't, then
oh god, I never remember the word when I want to use it. First among
martial law
equals. No, first among equals. Yeah, it has a.
proconsul.
No, that's not it. Ah, I used to have it like memorized all the time. For some reason, it's just one of those things that would
Clear,
always come up.
it's a clear present danger.
No, I don't watch those movies. No, it's the concept that you have a council of people that are all equals, but you have a representative amongst the council who's the first among equals. Like Babylon 5, for
Yeah.
example, the Great Council, it has a speaker. The speaker is the first among equals. Young Justice, you have the Light. The Light has Vandal Savage. He represents everybody. He is the first among equals. Um, I would assume that they have equal measure of authority in their respective areas, but when it comes to when to deploy the military, Max, the military commander, is the first among equals.
Apparently not.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the show is showing us not, but anyway. Also, to the Sound Force thing, it's obviously the military. They brought out like all of their commanders from all their ships to do this
And they
thing.
played the Macross anthem as well. Like, oh, this is very important. But Basara is like, oh yeah, they present everybody. Now, early on, Ray, who has been given command of Sound Force, basically spoke with Captain Genius,
Oh,
Max, and said,
also real quick, Primus inter pares. That's first among equals. That's what I was trying to remember.
uh, which is the Emperor, basically, bro. Anyway, Max basically says, you're gonna keep my Ling out of this, right? And there's a discussion about it later on. And he's like, yeah, but I reserve the right to select the final member of the force. So when it happens, Myling, he says, oh yeah, by the way, Myling is part of this. And Max is like, but she's a child. It's like, well, you told me that I could choose the last one, and we need her. And then Basara shows up. Is like, we're not part of the military. I'm not. I'm going to do my own thing. Rock and roll. And he gets in and apparently leaves. And then Ray has to cover with Max going like, don't worry about it. He's just, I got this, right? You know. And that's the end of the episode, basically.
Yeah, kind of feels like the end of the episode is what ruined the episode the most.
You know.
Well, 'cause I mean, otherwise we were getting information. We were having communications between characters. Maybe not Fulmo, but Gamlin is doing like a rundown, a debrief of everything that happened. We see all the other commanders are a part of the conversation. Even Milia and Max have a conversation. Everyone's communicating, and then we get the whole Sybil thing, where Sybil is like, we have been joking all the time about Sybil has been having like a sexual response to the music, and now we see that's actually what it is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the blah thing was from before the first time, where he goes, "Yo, did you eat something bad?" Cause I don't know, maybe that's her Iago face. I don't know, but when she says ecstasy, I think it makes it pretty damn clear what's happening. And then they gave
Yeah.
her, now what is the fighting game? That when you lose, your character gets like stripped in like a flash of light. Am I thinking
I,
is
I,
it a fighting game or is it the end of Metroid? I'm trying to remember my video game knowledge.
I don't.
She gets
I
hit by
wouldn't be
the same
surprised.
thing.
I seen it all in anime, not just the the other type of anime, but I seen it in more.
Well, no, this is
You
like a
know,
very popular game, and I'm just not good with my memory. It's like there's like bright flash of
ex-
light, and you see their silhouette, and then their hair goes whipping back, and then you just see like little like fragments of shit come off of them. So the implication is that it's clothes, but it's not. It's like really old. It's like Super Nintendo, so it's got like no real graphics to show you anything.
So, I
I
don't know.
want to say it's like the end of Metroid, but that can't be right because I think that's just a transition to so you Samus in her I'm gonna say bathing suit, whatever she's wearing underneath to indicate, oh, the heroine was a girl the whole time. But I'm pretty sure this was a fighting game.
Uh,
Hit me in the comments down
Doesn't
below.
yeah, it's not clicking with me. So yeah, yeah, that happened. And yeah, the end of the episode is Basara being Basara.
It's just
Eh,
more of an indication of what I've said before that knowing Basara does not solve Basara. He could I don't his backstory could be told to us and it could be tragic and it could be sympathetic, but it doesn't change who he is, right? If you find out that your best friend is an asshole because of a reason, does it change that he's an asshole? Or do you just have to like, hell, that was a bad story. I guess I'm just gonna have to accept he's an asshole. I'm not Basara's best friend, right? So I don't have an
yeah,
obligation to accept him as he is. He's also not real. I just want to add that too.
I mean, true, but I think it would help me understand. I mean, understanding is not excusing, but doesn't mean that it wouldn't be good. Would be because the problem with that is that it at least gives me. I'm missing context here,
No,
and the
no,
show's like, oh,
I
and that's what
understand.
I'm looking for. I'm not looking to excuse his behavior. I want to understand what's going on.
No, no, I understand. You know me. I have been trying to break down the mystery since day one. I have been theories at the wazoo about everything. I want to know Basara's backstory. I do not anticipate it making the show better, is my problem.
Yeah, that's true.
I really wish Gamlin was the main character. I wish
I mean,
Gamlin
it's
was the
like,
main character who gets proven wrong, more so than I want Basara to be the main character who gets proven right.
yeah. Although
Gamlin,
show wants to sell us, but even then, it's kind of halfway. It's like, oh well, we have to acknowledge these things, but ultimately, he's right. I think that's what the show's trying to sell us on, that he's right.
oh no, I know that. I mean,
So
imagine these two scenarios, right? We have a, by the way, they're not going to be that far apart if you think about it. We have a show where Gamlin is the main character. He keeps flying out to defend everybody. Everyone loves it. Uh, but every episode, there's this annoying ass guy who comes out and sings. And it's like, oh, that's our background for our fight scenes, I guess. And he keeps getting in the way, and we fucking hate him because why is there this background character that keeps doing this? And they don't explain why he keeps showing up and why no one stops him. Still hate Basara, but he's not the focus. Gamlin's the focus, and Gamlin's the guy we can get behind. Versus what we have now, where Basara flies out, and Gamlin is the distraction that Basara keeps stopping from doing stuff. Both scenarios, we still fucking hate Basara, but
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make the Gundam comparison. We've also been watching Gundam Origins, and there's a certain character there who essentially this is their backstory. Well, backstories to everything, but particularly their character, and they have a tragic backstory. But he's still an asshole, you know. A certain blonde character.
am I missing somebody? Certainly, it's
Well,
not somebody that starts with a C, well,
it is.
or
I
a
see.
C. I guess both names start with
Yeah.
C. No, Basara's character is nowhere near Casfall's.
No, I know he's not. Okay, here's the thing.
I mean, his backstory. Well, we don't know Basar's backstory, so as I'm trying to point
But
together how in any
in fact, I would
way.
say they're diametrically the opposite because one is a peace, one is a pacifist technically, and the other one isn't. But here's the thing: the idea is that we get a backstory for this other character, but that doesn't change the fact that they are a horrible person, right?
Are
You
they?
know, yes, they are.
Again, you might be working with future knowledge here. I'm up to maybe episode of my knowledge, only up to episode 17 of the original series. So Origin up to like 17. So I know. What can I say without spoilers here? I know about a funeral. Does that help? So I kind of know what he's up to, but I feel like the backstory justifies him. So
Yes, the problem is that he goes on to do
yeah,
other
okay,
things.
okay, yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, up to what I know, I don't find these things equatable. Here's the problem: is that when it even comes to Gundam, this is like the One Piece conversation, right? What can I say up to that isn't a spoiler? To somebody, episode 20 is a spoiler. To somebody else, episode 500 is a spoiler. Somebody else is currently watching episode 1112. So Gundam is Universal Century. Gundam is it's a bit of a mix. You got to make sure who you're talking to.
But
Uh,
even in the originals, yeah, he still does a couple of things that you're like, what the fuck?
Again, he hasn't, to my knowledge, yet. To my knowledge,
Yeah.
everything that he's done. If I was watching just the original, I'd be confused as hell. Like, why? Why is he? I'd be trying to make notes about his like personality. Like, oh, you didn't. Why is he? But the origin paints it for me. It's why I like the chronological order that we're trying to do this in, because I know, and it makes sense. And it's like, okay, I feel like he's maybe not against that guy, but at least he's justified for who he's targeting.
Yeah.
So, Macross. Anything else we want to say before we get into this episode?
No, I'm hoping that we can see the Sound Force in action and actually do something. We
Uh,
kind of saw last episode, but yeah.
sort of. You know, maybe the addition of two other people will up the amount to the point where it'll do something. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
we already have that situation that when you had Mylene and Basara,
Right, but I'm talking about with Ray and Vivitas.
and yeah,
But
the
the
whole five
problem
bomber team.
is that we know that when they were tracking them down in that one episode and scanning everybody, that they
Mhm.
don't have the special cord C.
True, but they might be able to boost
But
Basara's
the
performance.
problem there is that we already know that Basara is the only one that radiates. They might have musician spiritua, which we already know is a different thing based on that jazz trumpeter or whatever he was.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't actually know what kind of music that was. But
it was jazz.
we know that musician spiritua is a thing. Apparently, Basara doesn't have musician spiritua, or is not comprised mostly of it, because he is anima spiritua, which we don't really know what that is either. There's like three types of spiritua I remember being told about so far, which is builder spiritua, anima spiritua, and musician spiritua. Assumedly, there's a lot more. Those are the three specifically, or those are two specifically that's been said by Civil. One has been said by Lord Geppernick. So I don't know. I don't know how their song adds to anything. Maybe that's Anima Spiritua and not the Special Chord C. Maybe Special Chord C is how he bends ladders with his guitar.
I
Um,
guess. Yeah.
because we know, as I said before, last episode's pre-discussion, the idea that Mylene might have Anima Spiritua, which is why Civil goes after her because she's trying to gather Anima Spiritua.
Which apparently is a special type of spiritual which she needs or
Well,
wants.
Basara has it, Flower Girl has it. I believe she inhabited Akiko because Akiko had it. Then she repeatedly goes after Mylene. If anything's to be believed, everybody that she hit from the garage to the forest had Anima Spiritua.
Apparently.
Well,
And the people in the concert.
I think it follows through on Lord Geppernick's "I'm painting with a set of colors that I don't need" statement that she gets sent out to maybe Anima Spiritua is like the glue of whatever she's building. Sorry, whatever he's building or needs to wake himself up. Because I mean, again, Anima animate. Maybe it's the spirits that need to wake themselves up or bring him back, as it's been said before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already made
Also very
two.
weird. We we see Sybil be able to absorb people's life force through her mouth when she's possessing people, through the gem, through her horn thing, the thing she's wearing in the head. Like she does a full body thing. It's like she can just like I'm there and I'm at one point I think she's gonna be in the middle of the city and just gonna absorb everybody's anima because she doesn't need any particular thing, right? We said the gem, but she even using she has like a headpiece, and the thing from the headpiece also absorbed
I'll be honest, I don't
anima as
remember
well.
that one. I remember the gem,
Yeah,
the mouth, and the full body. I don't remember the
yeah,
headpiece.
as well because she's standing side and like, and absorbs from the concert goers because she was doing different thing with the concert
Oh
goers.
no,
Yeah,
no, no! I
I was like,
include
what?
that
That's
as
weird.
the full body because we only see part of her because she's like hidden by the crowd. So I just assume she's doing the same, like the whole. It all comes at you at once.
No, but to me anyway, it looked like he was using part of her headpiece to do it as well. So
Well, like I'm
maybe she
saying,
collects it different,
we weren't seeing her from like the neck down, so it could just be.
and even hitting multiple people at the same time as well. So instead of going one by one, like he's like a couple of people in an alleyway, and just like so she might as well just elevate herself and just take the entire city at once.
My problem is I also don't remember that because my counter was gonna be I think she's only been doing it one at a time and targeted because every time she
Yeah.
wanders past somebody, it's like everything from them and then everything from them. I don't remember her
And
going.
also, it might also be because we've seen this before. She powers herself up, tries to go after Basara, fails, and then she has to power herself up. So maybe what Basara is doing is a counter force to what she has, like a different chord or something. So they cancel each other out.
Well, we
And
know
it seemed
again,
this time
special
around,
chord C. That's why he's got the hit on
yeah,
them.
yeah. So this time around, she was strong enough to be able to kiss him, and through that kiss, she probably already knew it. He already knew his name, but he was able to learn her name.
Unless
So
it
it's a
wasn't
psychic.
a kiss, maybe she was trying to merge with him, and that merger gave her the knowledge.
Doesn't I mean, it doesn't look like she. In order for merging, she just sort of goes in, and she doesn't have to go
I
for the
know we've
kiss.
seen it like the same way, ironically, in the opening that Gamlin and Basara pass by one another and they turn into like the robot, the mecha. The same
Yeah,
animation style as how it looks when she's taking over a body. You just pass by that person and then boom, you're
yeah.
inside. I'm just thinking it's the only thing I can think of given my previous statement last episode that when she's in a person, she seems to have all their knowledge. Now, we haven't seen anything to indicate that Rex now knows all about Civil. And as far as I know, we never saw Akiko just get back up again. So if it's possible that Rex and Akiko now know all about Civil, but I don't know, maybe she tried to merge with him and it like blew up or backfired and he got like a bit of her memory. It's either that or they just didn't think about it. They just like failed on the script. And this is like then he says her
Wouldn't surprise
name
me.
because they're like in a
Yeah,
romance now, and it's like
yeah.
that would be cool. Let's not think about it.
Hmm. Wouldn't surprise me.
All right. Well, I think we should go ahead and get on into the episode then.
Nope.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I mean, at the very least, Civil is a different kind of enemy. And when it comes to like the Zentradi being driven crazy by, well, they say the Proto Devlin, but I don't know if they're implying that Civil is a Proto Devlin or if the whole group is Proto Devlin. Because it seems like the Zentradi get driven crazy by Civil, not by everybody else. And I don't even know why that would be your moment of fear. Civil can fly through ships. The Zentradi
It
would
might have
never have
been.
been able to fight that.
I mean, it might have been that they.
I mean, I would understand the whole. By the way, I'm the red woman that's hugging Basara from behind
Yeah.
now. Makes a little bit more sense, I guess. I can understand now why the Zentradi are like nuking planets from orbit. If like
Yeah.
they're afraid that there's sleeping Proto Devlin anywhere. Just I think one Proto Devlin could take out like whole of Golg's fleet. What would they
Yeah.
be able to do? I feel like the Zentradi exist to take out the Proto Devlin, not my clones.
Sort of Halo situation.
Hell, they could be taking out my clones because my clones get mind controlled by the Proto Devlin. I mean, it fits everything together. I mean, the only thing it doesn't explain is who Birdman is. Or the army, whose name escapes me. Supervision Army. We technically do have an answer. It's called Macross Battle 7's giant gun. Seems to do the job pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have a solution to the spiritual drain. The music wakes people up.
Yeah.
And they've got a super weapon.
But would that work against Sybil?
Well, nothing works against Sybil.
Except for singing, I suppose.
I mean, that didn't defeat Sybil. That just made her run away. In fact,
okay.
she gets off on it. I mean, that is the weirdest way to beat your enemy. Sexual ecstasy. I'm just saying, man. I don't think you're winning the war. I think you're bringing them back. They're lured in by you.
Again, Basara.
We're in an open window.
Which he never explains, so who cares? He doesn't. Because nobody in this show knows anything.
It's a harem anime.
Huh.
Well, it's not a triangle anymore. It's Rex, Sybil, Mylene. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but it's a harem now. I think 3 is a harem, right? About to get drained? No, okay. She drained the bird, so I figured a squirrel or a raccoon or whatever was probably in it.
Oh, I guess she lost all her clothing. Because now she's naked, upside down, floating in a forest.
I mean, the thing is, she's an energy being, right? So, Liturgy. Little spelling there. Unless he's a Lieutenant Jag officer. How's that work? Yeah, she's not military commander.
I mean, that makes sense. They want to dedicate it.
Oh,
don't say Divine Force has been disbanded.
しかし、誰がサウンドフォースを守るのですか？普通のパイロットでは。ドッカー大尉率いるエメラルドフォースがいる。最新鋭の VF-19 で編成された。
That money saving thing that I mentioned before. We really only have to animate one VF-19 if we just copy and paste it 3 times.
やったぜ。俺たち今度サウンドフォースと連携して出撃することになったんだ。おめでとう。これがすげえんだぜ。知らないが、ファイヤーボンバーのミレーヌちゃんってチャーミングでさ、めちゃくちゃキュートなんだぜ。
Who knew Docker was going to be the real threat the whole time?
ドライブにでも行こう。
I loved you, Docker.
Okay, now I can see the villain arc going.
Like I said, this is what Sybil does when she drains you.
サウンドフォースに許可される飛行空域は基本的にエメラルドフォースを妨害しないよう008ポイント離れてもらう。
そしてその都度こちらから指示する。
わかった。
それで曲目ですけど、今あらゆるデータを分析してまして、最も効果があると思われるものから順次演奏してもらいます。
そこまで決めるの？
正式な軍の一員として命令には従ってもらう。
そういえばボーカルがまだ来てないようだが。
ええ、もう来ると思うんですけどね。
時間は厳守してもらう。
俺の歌を聴けば簡単なことさ。
何をしていたんだ。時間だけは守ってもらう。
I understand that Basara is being an asshole, but they are kind of being jerks too.
I mean, they want to coordinate.
Right. I just mean that they're like being haughty about it. Like, well, fucking listen to us. As though we didn't like volunteer for this.
うるせえな。曲なんざその時のフィーリングに左右されんだからよ。ガーッと出撃してグッと心に感じたもんをビリビリっとハートを熱くして歌うんだよ。
そうではなくて。
それっきゃないって。
Also, I mean, who are they gonna replace him with?
気持ちが一番大切なんだ。
Nobody.
そういうことではなく、データとしてしかるべき。
確かにそう言われてみるとバサラ君の言う通りかもしれない。ここは一つ任せてみてはどうかな。
しかしドクター、
そういう何者にもとらわれない自由な心がいいのかもしれない。
ドクター。
Fifth member of the Love Harem.
感謝します。
なかなか話がわかるじゃねえか、おっさん。じゃあな。
I'm gonna be wearing your clothes later.
Now that's an mental image.
はい、潜入しておりました部隊から連絡が途絶えたと。
そりゃどういうことだ。
シリル様の行方がわからなくなったと。
Well, you know how she was communicating with us before? She's not now.
直接この目で確かめてやる。
しかしゲペルニチカか。
あのナルシストのバケモンのことは放っておけ。
Well, you remember how Lord Gepernick put that other guy in charge and I shot him? That's why I'm not talking to Lord Gepernick right now.
失礼します。
入りなさい。
この度シティセブンの専任防衛を命じられましたので、着任の報告に参りました。
ご苦労様。あなたには緊急時以外にはシティセブンのパトロールもやってもらうわ。
そんなことまで。
当然です。得体の知れない敵がシティセブンに潜入しているのですから。
しかし私は今までずっとパイロットとして。
あなたが軍の
パイロットとして Die Hard thing you did a little while ago.
それならばお願いがあります。私をエメラルドフォースの一員に推薦してください。
そうはいかないわ。シティセブンを守るのも軍の立派な役目よ。
しかし私は
市長直属となったということは、私はあなたの上官というわけ。以後命令には従ってもらうわ。あなたたち入りなさい。紹介しておくわ。新人パイロットのディックとモーリーよ。ダイヤモンドフォースに入ってもらうことにしました。
よろしくお願いします。
Welcome back to FDF Macross.
ガムリン隊と一緒に出撃できて光栄です。
I bet another redhead's gonna be the one who dies.
Yeah.
He's Heyo if I ever seen a Heyo.
Yeah. Not as he's taller, but not brawnier.
Well, he even smiles like Heyo did.
フィジカ、すまん。唯一残った俺の力不足でダイヤモンドフォースがこんなことになってしまって。
I don't know. I kind of agree with Milia on this that you'd think that being positioned in City 7 would be the more respectable one. Considering City 7 is the target.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's attacking City 7. No one cares about the other ships. Unless Fire Bomber is there. What the fuck, Gamlin?
He's lost in thought, so.
That or she's a ghost and nobody saw her.
Well.
I'm using ghost not in the ghost terminology, like in the, I don't know, just doesn't exist until she exists sort of thing. So we're just running in back alleys now?
I guess so. And he has a branded jacket too, by the way. You know, it's like in Star Trek, everything's branded by the Federation, by the Starfleet, you know. No, dude, don't. See, now that is a bad move. If she calls you, you go there.
Once again, I understand that though. He's dejected, man. You and me, we don't exist on the same wavelength at all.
I mean, I get why he did it, but still, it's a bad move. Bad move.
You're in the military now, and were before. Except if I knew about Macross 7 when I was getting the overlay made, I probably would have made myself play gambling. He's my boy. And also, Britai's never going to be seen again, so I picked poorly. It's a large apple.
He is.
とても美味しいですよ、ミレーヌさん。
そう、よかった。
ミレーヌさんの歌、心に染みました。
Is this the Final Fantasy VII
音
part?
楽っていうのはこういう時に聞くもんだなって。
That's that thing behind him right there.
音楽って。
Yeah.
もしよかったらこれ。小さい頃買ってもらったの。嫌なことがあったらこれをこすりなさいって。
どうかなるんですか?
Yeah, Genie
魔
pops
法が
out.
かかって未来がパーッと開けるって。
え?
そう言われたの。だから一生懸命こすっちゃった。でもそんなの単なる気休めだって後からバカにされちゃって。ひどいと思わない？
え、いえ。
でもなん
I mean, she's a kid. She's a teeny, so.
もしよかったらガムリンさんにあげる？
どうして私？
She liked it enough that she kept it on her.
Yeah.
そんなことありませんよ。
だからこういういい加減なものを持っていてもいいかなって。それじゃあまたね。
サウンドフォース頑張ってください。
もっと気楽に気楽に。
え？
気楽に気楽に。
ミレーヌさん。
Oh yeah, I've seen those eyes before. Those are love eyes.
マクロス5はいい惑星を見つけたようだな。
水があるってことは植物もあるってことですよね。
常識で考えればそうだろう。
報告によれば食料もかなりあるそうです。夢の惑星ですね。
そこへ着いたらみんなもたっぷり休暇を取るといい。
やったー。
And maybe one day we'll know your names.
デフォルト反応確認。
何
They're on the wrong side of the shield.
シビル、どこへ隠れた？俺が見つけ出してやる。みんな、行くぜ！
It's a weird position for him now. He woke her up, but now he's also her stalker.
エメラルドホース出撃準備完了。
発進。
Also, I don't like that. It's weird to hear that Emerald Force is about to launch.
今出撃します。
We get to see who has what now. Who's flying what? Oh, they're different mechs. Okay.
じゃあ始めっぞ。
No, Mylene. Mylene Ryan with Ray?
いいか、敵をサウンドホースに近づけるな。了解。
I don't think that's the only other way that would be able to work. And Max is like, you protect her. Well, that told me nothing.
ガモリ隊分かってるわね。あくまでもシティセブンの防衛が最優先任務よ。
了解しております。
D2 から D1 へ。隊長、我々も戦場に参加して敵機を撃ち落としましょう。
D1 から D2、 そのような心が死を招く。自重しろ。
しかしただ飛んでいるだけでは。
我々の任務はシティセブンを
At
守
least
る
in
ことだ。
Gamlen's position, he's experienced death before being put in charge of people.
Yeah.
Well, you know, different than Hikaru.
おいバサラ強引すぎるぞ。
Okay, he's not the pink one.
見れる。
And we've gone sexist. Where's the... I guess you can't control a mech with drum set.
だってバサラが勝手に行くから。
ここは普通のステージとは違うんだ。やたらに俺の後ろについてくるんじゃねえ。
同じサウンドを作るメンバーでしょ。
なんだと。
おいおい。宇宙で
Never mind, that's where she's at, okay.
レーヌがテンポ乱してんだよ。
バサラが合わせようとしないんでしょ。
無理して突っ込んでくるからだよ。
無理なんかしてないわよ。操縦得意なんだから。
そうかい。じゃあ勝手に遊んでな。
I like to point out that Gamlen goes out there and fights with people he's never fought with before and like can go back to back doing synchronous moves and everything. He doesn't have this problem.
だから待ってって言ってるでしょ。レイ、攻撃していい？
ダメだ。何のために俺たちが歌ってると思ってんだ。分かってんのかよ。
そんなこと言ったって。
俺がついてるぜ、ミレーヌちゃん。
サンキュー。
ほら行くぞ。
一人で突っ走らないでよ。
邪魔すんな。
Okay, so now this is the arc where he has to learn that he has to work with others. Finally.
I mean, they're real
'Cause he-
lucky that the Proto-Devlin mind slaves are just shit at this. They fire like 2 shots and then wait 30 seconds before the next one.
Dude, you're supposed to protect Sound Force.
絶対に突入させるな。
了解。
なおシティセブンには損害を与えるな。それを最優先させろ。
了解。
進路妨害をするな。
I don't see how they can do anything though. You've got like an energy pinpoint shield thing going on.
7を数えてるんだ。
Unless he kills one of your new guys by accident. Or that.
何をする。邪魔だどけ。シティセブンの防衛は任されている。これ以上の攻撃は絶対に許さん。D2、D3、撤去 BX402 へ。了解。
Yeah, it's like, go figure that Doctor was gonna turn out to be the bad guy.
よし、そのままフォーメーション奪い。いいぞ、V フォローアップ。はいどうもだ。
Did they literally show us Gamlen dying in the preview? No.
No, he escaped.
And becomes another one of the infiltrators.
Apparently. But
めちゃくちゃじゃな。
ぶっ壊したのはおめえの方だろ。
I at least appreciate that it's an episode of Gamlen gets reassigned in a way he doesn't want. He's upset about it. He tries to change it, but he's still very effective in the position that he's in. He does his best no matter where he's at.
He should be. This should be the gambling show, basically.
実験にはつきものだよ。 長い目で見ていかないと。
さすがガムリン隊。これならば安心してシティ
It should be the gambling show, right? He's the one who's always been effective. At least mostly effective. He's not perfect. He's taking his licks, but yeah, he's being most effective than anybody.
Hey, he got sent to the hospital twice.
And lost a buddy.
Well, technically 2. I mean, Kinryu hasn't been shown to be coming back yet.
これ結構楽しいですね。同じところを何度も回りながら上がったり下がったりしているだけなのに初めてなんですよ、メリーゴーランドって。なんか感動的だな。こんなに
The
楽しいも
entire
のが
episode named after what happens at the end of the episode.
Apparently.
これ案外本当かもしれませんよ。こすっていればいいことがあるって。だから僕がミレーヌさんの分までこすってますよ。いいことがあるように。
ガムリンさん。
Uh-oh. He seems too happy.
See, even, as I said, even our brains went 2 different directions. You go. He seems too happy, as though you anticipate something bad's about to happen to him. My mind is, oh no, he's going crazy.
I don't know. I think that could also be bad.
That laugh of this is the start of something crazy.
Yeah.
That or a villainous laugh.
Yeah.
But again,
don't know what was happening with Docker though. Docker seems to be like, I just want to kill these guys, right?
We don't know.
So I guess Docker. I guess Docker is what gambling used to be. Like, I'm just gonna fight and kill, right? But he has a job too. It's like, hey, dude.
Gambling was never that irresponsible. We never had a chance to know Docker because he went out. He's like our first guy who gets comaed. So all we know is that Gamlin was like, oh no, Docker. And I think we just anticipated there was a deeper connection between them. I think it was actually just Gamlin was like, oh no, my teammate.
Well, he did visit him in the hospital a couple of times, like, oh man, Docker, this, Docker, that. And then he kind of faded in the background, you know.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think he's just really tied to his teammates.
Yeah.
Also, there was that first combat, if you recall.
なんだと？どうして俺がおばちゃんとデュエットしなくちゃならないんだ？
デート中なのに敵が襲ってきた。
何やってんだミレーヌ、歌え。
次回深夜のデュエット。
過激にファイヤー。
The enemy attacks on all of your dates. I don't think you've been on a date the enemy didn't attack on.
Yeah.
There's 2 things more reliable in Maline's life is that if she's having a concert, then she's going to get attacked. And if she's having a date, she's going to get attacked. No, I mean, before, the very first episode, they said it was the very first time that they've ever been in a fight. So, it's entirely possible that Gamlin only knew Docker as, like, somebody he did, like, training flights with, or, you know, spent time with the barracks. That he would turn out to be this guy in a fight could still have been completely unknown to him.
Yeah.
I mean, again, otherwise I appreciate it's a show that Gamlin is an adult about things. Could I get a recommendation to Emerald Force? No. Okay. I mean, like, he didn't put up a fuss. He didn't, like, you know, Basara, you're gonna join the military. I'm not joining no fucking military. You know, Gamlin's, like, reporting for duty, I guess.
I mean, you don't have to like it. It's just a job. He is a... he's a member of the military. Sailor, I suppose.
Well, Gamlin is remember, he's an ace. He graduated from the academy years early. He's won multiple awards for being so good. He is, apparently, according to Max, the best pilot they've got. He said, I'm glad Max sent, when I asked for Max to send me the best pilot, and they sent Gamlin. So, I mean, I have to assume by that point you like your job.
Yeah.
And at the very least, I wish he had gotten into Emerald Force, not to like buck off Docker, but to get a YF-19 at the very least.
Oh, it's a man on the machine, I suppose.
Well, sure, but I mean, you know who your best pilot is. You know what your best machine is. Why not? It's like you wouldn't send Docker out in a YF-11. I'm sorry, a VF-11. Because why would you? So why would you not send him out in the best thing if you're already considering what you will and won't send him out in? Not that I know anything about why the VF-17 is any good. Any other thoughts then?
No, that'll be it.
All right, well, that's been it for today. I've been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?